This strange trick turned my raised bed soil into black gold, faster than compost ever did. If someone told me that wet bread and leftover rice could turn dusty, lifeless soil into rich black earth crawling with worms, I probably would have laughed. But what happened in my garden was no joke. In just a few weeks I watched hard-packed dirt go from barren to buzzing with life. No digging, no compost pile, no complicated soil formulas. Just 2 forgotten kitchen scraps, a good soak, and a thick blanket of mulch. Now I'm not the type to fall for garden gimmicks. I like proof. So when I saw the results, dark crumbly soil, tons of earthworms and healthier plants, I knew I had to share this with you. This simple method might be the fastest soil revival trick I've ever used. And yes, it sounds weird, but sometimes the weirdest things work the best. Let's break it down step by step so you can try it yourself. It's easier than you think, and the payoff is huge. Why bread and rice do what compost can't? Here's the science, plain and simple. Bread and rice are full of carbohydrates. These are fast-burning fuel sources for microbes, the tiny invisible workers that power soil health. When microbes get energy, they multiply fast, and when microbes multiply, they create heat, attract insects, and eventually call in the earthworms. That's when the magic really happens. Bread, when soaked, becomes soft and breaks down quickly. Rice, especially when cooked, traps moisture and warmth. Together, they form a warm, wet, fermenting pocket of energy right beneath your mulch layer. And that little pocket kicks off a chain reaction underground. Unlike dry leaves or tough veggie scraps, these soft foods don't take months to rot. They start breaking down in just days. That means faster microbial activity, faster worm attraction, and faster soil transformation. But, and this is key, they only work this well when buried under mulch. That's where everything changes. Once you tuck wet bread and rice under mulch, the area becomes like a miniature compost chamber. It stays dark, moist, and warm, perfect for fungi and bacteria to move in. First, you might notice white threads of mold on the bread. Don't panic, that's a great sign. Those threads are fungal growth, and they're the first step toward a living soil. As bacteria begin to digest the carbohydrates, they produce heat. That low, steady warmth pulls in all sorts of soil creatures, springtails, beetles, and eventually, the real star's earthworms. They tunnel through the area, feeding not just on the bread and rice, but on the microbes living on them. Their castings fertilize the soil, and their movement aerates it naturally. You're not just feeding worms, you're creating a full-on soil ecosystem in a place that might have been bone dry and empty just a week ago. Exactly how to do it, the lazy way. Here's what worked for me. Choose a spot in your garden where the soil looks dead, dry, cracked, maybe sandy or hard as a rock. It could be a raised bed, a planter, or just a patch in your backyard. Lay down 2 or 3 slices of stale bread. Add about 1 to 2 cups of cooked rice or dry rice if you don't have leftovers. The cooked rice works faster, but both will break down eventually. Now soak it. Use about 2 cups of water per slice of bread and per cup of rice. So if you're using 3 slices and 2 cups of rice, pour around 10 cups of water in total. The goal is to make everything soggy, not swimming, but thoroughly soaked. That moisture helps speed up decomposition and keeps the microbes happy. Once that's done, cover the area with a 3 to 4 inch layer of mulch. This could be straw, shredded leaves, grass clippings, or even cardboard. The mulch keeps light out, holds moisture in, and keeps pests from digging up your secret soil booster. Now you wait. No turning, no stirring, no work. Within 4 to 5 days, fermentation begins. Within a week, microbial life takes off. And by week 2 or 3, earthworms will find their way there, leaving behind silky black castings and tunnels full of life. Why this beats traditional composting? Let's be honest. Composting takes time and effort. You've got to balance greens and browns, turn the pile, and keep an eye on the smell. Even when done right, it takes months to get usable compost. This method skips all that. There's no pile to manage, no turning, no guessing about carbon to nitrogen ratios, and best of all, the transformation happens right in the soil where your plants grow. That means no transporting compost and no disturbing root systems. It's like building mini compost stations right where your plants need it, targeted soil revival with zero mess. A few ways to make it even better. Want to supercharge this method? Here are a couple of easy upgrades. Before covering your bread and rice with mulch, sprinkle on a handful of finished compost or healthy garden soil. This introduces beneficial microbes that get the party started even faster. You can also soak the bread in compost tea before layering. A good compost tea recipe is 1 cup of finished compost steeped in 1 gallon of water for 24 hours, stirred occasionally. This boosts microbial activity right from day one. Another trick I like is to mix a handful of dry shredded paper or dead leaves with the rice. This helps balance moisture and creates little air pockets, which keeps things aerobic and odor-free. But even if you do none of that, the basic bread-rice mulch combo works incredibly well on its own. The long-term impact is bigger than you think. This isn't just about worms, it's about turning tired, dead soil into living earth that holds water better, breaks down nutrients more efficiently, and grows stronger plants. Over time, the areas where you use this method will become hotspots of biological activity, and, the best part, that life will start to spread. Worms tunnel out, microbes migrate. You're not just fixing a patch, you're rewiring your whole garden's underground network. You'll notice it in the plants. They'll grow deeper roots, need less watering, and bounce back from stress faster. All because of what's happening beneath the mulch. It may sound like the weirdest soil hack ever, but wet bread and rice have earned their place in my gardener's toolbox. They're simple, fast, and honestly, ridiculously effective. If your soil feels dead or your garden just isn't thriving like it used to, give this method a shot. It's free, it's easy, and it works in ways most compost piles can't. Sometimes the best soil solutions aren't found in fancy fertilizers or store-bought amendments. They're sitting on your kitchen counter waiting to be soaked, buried, and brought to life. Stick with Soil and Crop Central for more strange but true gardening tips that really work. Try this one today, and hey, keep your eyes on the ground. You just might find a black gold mine beneath your mulch. Soil and Crop Central.